Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck now ready to lead this Colts offense. Comeback player of the year in 2018, and for good reason. Remember, he missed the entirety of the previous season in 2017, but he rebounded to throw 39 touchdown passes and lead the Colts to a playoff berth.
Mike, up.
This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
On 2nd and 9, Luck. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and long, it's Luck. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Back deep for the Browns, Antonio Callaway. This is taken at about the 14. Gets through, and now an opening. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway taking it in. And the Browns have taken the early lead. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Extra point up and through. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And drive number 1 for them was a punt. We'll see what drive number 2 holds here.
And oftentimes you think to yourself, okay, second possession, let's go ahead and open things up. Let's get a little bit crazier on offense. Maybe it wasn't a matter of that. Maybe they just missed a block or two, and maybe they had the right plays called. Sometimes it's just the execution. Let's see if they can execute a little bit better on this drive.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And his throw here's incomplete. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
When you're the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft of 2017, puts a little extra scrutiny. Defensive end Myles Garrett is certainly used to it. In 2018, came into his own his second year in the league with 13.5 sacks and really expects to increase that total in years to come.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returnable here for Callaway. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns heading out, and the pressure squarely on the shoulders of number 6 in his second season now with the Browns. The #1 overall pick in 2018, Baker Mayfield. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 42 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Joseph on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Joseph now to kick this one away. And And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an off, now a hit and Luck lost the football. It's out.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time.
Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's going to go down again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Now Callaway on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield, he's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Anthony Walker, the other Colts linebacker with over 100 tackles a year ago, making the play there.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 19 yards away. And the Browns add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here is Andrew Luck, the focus of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
15 yards on the play, first down. Mayfield to throw it.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go, baby.
We remind you, coming up at halftime. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I do.
I know you do. I've got the thing just for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins, and that'll bring up second down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year. Yeah, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab, and the Browns add 6 to their lead.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Joseph on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Joseph now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Andrew Luck and the rest of the Colts offense ready to take over. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got a find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Well, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure.
Now a hit and loss lost the football. It's out. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And this will complete right side to Funchess. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle to Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
The extra point up and good.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Watch the twist.
They'll run. It's Hilliard. Fights through, and now a crease. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Dontrell Hilliard, 58 yards. And the Browns continue to roll.
But without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle him.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Joseph now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Brissett now. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Left side, Doyle with it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Finding Paris Campbell, and there's Campbell's first NFL catch. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Brissett. He's got Jack Doyle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Brissett now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down. Here's Brissett. Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. Make him make someone miss in the open field.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he'll find the open man on the right side. It's Kane. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Here's Brissett. That ball is caught. It's Doyle. Touchdown, Colts. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts gain a bit of respectability. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And oh, it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And there he goes again. 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Antonio Callaway, 105 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. But guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
Boy, it's the same old song, isn't it? And then right now, this one doesn't sound too sweet. They've been thoroughly outclassed so far. And there's another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that's something that we've said quite a bit in this game. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Brissett. And he floats one there, incomplete. He was looking for the rookie Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Get your swarm on. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
They'll run on first down. Hilliard through an opening, and there he goes. The 30, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Dontrell Hilliard, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Browns continue to roll. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Brissett. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Throwing, Brissett. Throw left side, complete. That's Hines. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Brissett sets to throw it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Brissett. Got an open man, that's Campbell. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. On 1st and 10, Brissett, middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Brissett. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And it's 3rd and short. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. He won't go down, and he's into the clear. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. That was a pretty impressive touchdown play. Those broken tackles, those weren't easy to get by.
No, they really weren't. And they've had trouble tackling throughout this ball game. But on this particular play, how about that move? Or I should say moves with an S. Because I don't care if you're a great tackler. You had trouble getting him on the ground on that play.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to throw on first. Incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Zach Pascal, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Carey on the return.
There he goes, right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 31, Brissett, middle of the field. He finds Pascal, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Indy.